Hello and welcome to the ADHD Guru podcast. My name is Jonathan Carroll. I am an ADHD and executive functioning coach. For more information on me, you can visit my website at adhdguru.com. You can call me at area code 877-398-2343. You can follow me on YouTube and at Twitter at ADHD Guru. You can find me on Facebook at ADHD and Executive Functioning Coach. You can call me at area code 877-398-2343. If you're listening to this to the iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, or TuneIn Radio apps, thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind leaving me feedback, would be appreciated. And if you ever have a topic you'd like me to discuss, go ahead and shoot me a tweet or an email or feedback or carrier pigeon, just kidding. Or if you watch Game of Thrones, a raven. And I will be happy to try to talk about that topic. But today's topic is one that I actually deal with personally. As I remind you, I am an adult with ADHD. So I have a lot of the challenge some of my clients have dealing with ADHD. And there's a very interesting study that came out. And I do not sleep as well as I would like. And for a variety of reasons. And I think a lot of it is related to my ADHD. I think a lot of it's related to sort of the way that I'm wired. I mean, again, I would love to get a good night's sleep on a regular basis. I don't do that. And it's really troubling sometimes because, you wake up the next day and all of a sudden you have a bunch of things to do and you're unable to perform at your best level. So let me walk you through a little bit about this study. This is, again, Dr. Sandra Kuji, professor at VU University in Amsterdam. A presentation she made to the ECNP conference in Paris. And again, I'm going to put a link to this on the podcast page as well as the YouTube page if you're watching this there, so you can kind of look into it a little bit more. But let me give you a couple of highlights from this and some things that I think you can sort of look at. Our circadian rhythm for people with ADHD is really off. And what I mean by that is, in a normal process, like if I look at my wife who doesn't have ADHD, she puts her head on the pillow at 10:30 and she wakes up at 7. I put my head on the pillow at 10:30. Luckily, maybe I'll fall asleep by 11:30. Generally speaking, I'm not falling asleep and I'm having trouble falling asleep and I'm having trouble getting into that process. So that rhythm is off. And there might be a few reasons for that. One is a lot of people with ADHD are sometimes shown to be better at night. So because we're more alert at night, sometimes that causes us to not be able to shut it down as well as other people. That's one thing that came from the study. Another thing is, which is very interesting, and I deal with this and never even thought about this, is what temperature is your body before you go to bed? If I'm too warm, I can never sleep. So I almost prefer a cold room. But if I'm too cold, that also presents challenges too. So sometimes I try to wear comfortable clothing that allows me to, be as comfortable as I can while I sleep. I don't like a lot of blankets. I don't like a lot of things. So, I like to be a little colder than warmer, but again, it's that thing will throw me off sometimes. Frankly, that's in all areas of life, but specifically to sleep. We have all different kinds of things outside of that, like restless leg syndrome, some sleep apnea concerns, again, our circadian rhythm, things that will disrupt that also seem to be associated with ADHD. So that's something else to keep in mind. And here's the one that I didn't even realize, that like if you wear sunglasses, because I'm very light sensitive, and I think a lot of people with ADHD are. So I'll either wear sunglasses or when I'm wearing my contacts, or wearing my regular glasses, they're transition lenses that get dark when it's lighter outside, because really bright light really impacts me. Well, apparently wearing sunglasses throws off your brain a little bit to think it might be night more than it is. So that also can present some challenges as well for people, that oversensitivity of light. So those are some things that really can throw off your sleep. Now, again, some other things too that I would mention is sometimes being on a screen, iPad, watching your TV, those kinds of things, being on a computer, those kinds of things sometimes present the idea of natural light, which will throw your brain off and sometimes force your brain, be more difficult for your brain to shut it down. Another thing too is, are you eating spicy food for dinner, or are you eating before you go to bed? Sometimes your digestive system will definitely throw off how you're able to sleep. So sometimes if you know you're having really spicy food, or you eat before you go to bed, that definitely can cause some concerns as well. How well are you hydrating? Are you constantly thirsty at night? Do you keep water by the bedside? Are you constantly getting up to go to the bathroom because you had too much to drink? So those are things as well too you got to keep in mind. Um, there is something, I guess, that they do, and again, I don't know a lot about this, but apparently there's a way that you can reset the circadian rhythm with people, which is bright light therapy in the morning and taking melatonin before you go to bed. And sometimes that can help people reset that circadian rhythm and get better sleep. I don't know a lot about that. I haven't tried that yet. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to actually try melatonin, and I will report back on Twitter and some other things so that way I can give you some feedback to see if it helps me fall asleep. So just want to give you some of the basis of the guess. And again, I'm going to put this article, um, make this available so you have that information. And if you have any other questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me. So let me give you my contact information one more time. My new and improved website is ADHDguru.com. You can call me at area code 877-398-2343. You can shoot me an email to Jonathan, that's Jonathan, at ADHDEFcoach.com. You can find me on YouTube and at Twitter at ADHD Guru, also on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at ADHD and Executive Functioning Coach. If you are listening to this to the Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or TuneIn Radio apps, feedback is greatly appreciated. So with that, we will see you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.